maybe this is good as what it gets. Maybe I can't find love besides this person. After the narcissistic relationship, after the toxic relationship that you were in, oftentimes people get out of those relationships and they start moving on. They start trying to figure out what's next in life. And a lot of times they're stuck. They're stuck behind the fear of what's actually going on. Who are these next people that I'm going to get involved with? Are they going to be narcissistic? What's that look like? But so often I talk to different people where that's not their exact challenge. Their exact challenge is the idea of can I actually find love? Am I actually worthy of love? Is love actually possible? Because you get out of that relationship, you get out of that crazy tie and bond with another person that's used you and manipulated you and destroyed you in so many different ways, and you're there and you're kind of wondering what's next or what's possible. And oftentimes the phrase a lot of times I hear from people is the idea that no one is going to love me or that I'm not going to find love. And when those phrases come up in different sessions or in talking with people, I start to realize pretty quickly that that's stuff that's all been talked about and brought through from the narcissist. That's the lies, that's the manipulation, that's the gaslighting that they've put on the other person in the middle of that relationship. So let me ask you, you've probably seen this in your relationship and in times you've worked with a narcissist that as you've gotten out of the relationship, stuff like that, of when they actually attacked you, of using all these excuses, you're never going to find love without me, I'm as good as what you're going to get, all this type of stuff that they'll keep saying to manipulate you and to control you. Who's going to date you? I could have anybody else that I want, but I choose to say, who's actually going to love you? Who's going to start dating you as a single parent? And they'll go on and on and on. They'll come after you about your height, your weight, your personality, whatever it might be. They're going to try to attack and demean you and break it down more and more. And after a while, you get to the place where you're so torn down, where you're so broken, where you've been so abused and so manipulated so much. You get to the place that you start to wonder, is it actually possible? Maybe this is good as what it gets. Maybe I can't find love besides this person. What am I actually, where's it go from here? And in talking with people, they struggle with that a lot of times. And this isn't just one person I talk to, multiple people that I talk to, they struggle with the idea of, can anyone love me after that? Can I actually find love? Is it actually out there? And I want to tell you that it is. It is, but it doesn't seem like it is in the moment, because there's been so many lies that the narcissist has put around you. There's been so many lies that toxic person has walked into your life and thrown around you day after day after day, that over a period of time you start to believe, this is all I got. And so as the narcissist, as they start developing these, what it is it's, I talk about with trauma bonds, I talk about different things, but in this context of talking about lies that you end up believing about, that's not possible for you to find love anywhere else. Literally, they're taking and they're putting a rope around you each time they say the lie. So for instance, I got a cord here. All right, so each time, for instance, the narcissist is hey, let me pull it up. All right, so the narcissist is hey, you're not good enough. They take that and they put that around you. They say hey, you're too old. Put that around you. Hey, you're ugly. Put that around you. Hey, you can't, no one's going to date you because you've got kids. Put that around you. And they start putting stuff time and time and time again around you of lies that you're going to slowly start to realize and slowly start to believe over a period of time that maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe this is all that love is going to be. Maybe this is all I'm capable of. Maybe this is all I'm worth. And that starts striking home a lot of times with people when they start thinking about, hey, maybe I'm not worth any more than what they're giving me. Let me tell you right now, here and now, you're worth so much more. Because in talking with people on one-on-ones and interactions on different workshops, different things like that, groups and things like that, what I notice is people are worth so much more than what they can actually acknowledge, what they can actually admit, and what they realize that they're even capable of, if they're even possible, And some of this stuff is stuff that I talk about in my podcast, because a couple things I do with the podcast is I have Inspire, Motivate. There's different episodes on podcasts that's just talking about inspiration, motivation, like trying to help people like get out of the mind blocks that they're in. On this side, I talk a lot more just on the narcissism side of like what people are struggling with narcissists, with those narcissistic abusive relationships. And really it comes down to that fact of like believing the lies that they put around you. So let me ask you today, have you actually had this thought? I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy of love. No one's going to love me. Or maybe you've heard the narcissist say, hey, you're never going to find someone else that will love you. If that's you, like leave a comment below. Like let other people know that there's other people that have struggled with this concept. Okay? But then I want you to start thinking about what's actually happened in the relationship. What's actually happened to interact with both of y'all. Like you've had a relationship, and what's come to the surface over a period of time was the fact that the narcissist, the toxic person, the person manipulating your life didn't care. Because if they cared, they would have showed up. If they cared, they would have interacted in a respectful way. If they cared, they wouldn't have cheated on you. If they cared, they wouldn't have lied to you. If they cared, they would have gone through the hard stuff to be able to get to the place to acknowledge who they are, what they're doing, and how to grow from that. But they don't. So like as you start to look at that, you start to realize that over a period of time, your sense of self-worth, your sense of love, your sense of just what you should be able to learn and glean and grow out of a relationship has been completely switched around, has been completely turned on its head, because you start to think through, this is all I'm worthy of. This is all I'm good for. Let me tell you this, you're worthy of so much more. I know I've already said that, but it really is true. And oftentimes I can say it multiple times, but it's going to take you several times before you actually believe me. It's going to take me several times before you actually understand that you're worth more than the false love that abuser gave to you. You're worth more than how they manipulated you and how they did everything just to be able to get a desired response for themselves. You're worth more than everything that they put you through. But you have to be able to open your mind to the possibility of like, what if my thought of this is all I'm going to get, or this is all I'm worth, what if that possibility is untrue? What are the possibilities after that? Can I actually be bigger, greater, and better person when I start to realize that I'm worth more than how they treated me? I'm worth more than how they disrespected me. I'm worth more than how they lied on me. And you'll start to see that more and more and more. But you have to work on getting yourself to that place where you can just say, even if you're just at the start of like, hey, I need to take a step back and I need to say like, hey, what am I believing in my life right now? And is it actually true? Is there actually facts that support that? Because a lot of times we believe stuff that is not supported at all. We believe stuff that's been put around us, that we've grown up with, that's been a product of our upbringing, that's been put on us by friends, by media, by family members, like anything like that. And as a result, we get to the place where we think, hey, this is what we know. If you've been with a narcissist, then the majority of what you know about the narcissist and about reality that you've experienced with that person is false. It's fake. Because they're masters at controlling your perception, of controlling your reality, of isolating you from friends and family, from jobs, from anyone that's going to alert you that there's a red flag there. And they'll control that reality, and they'll control your perception of everything going on around you. So you have to be careful. You have to start putting in the work of, what are the facts in my life? What are the facts of this situation? And your worth is not dependent on what the narcissist did to you. Your worth is not dependent on anything that happened in that relationship. Your worth is so much more than that. But that takes the self-work, and that takes the reliance to continue to look and continue to consider the possibility that the lies they put around you are not true. But it takes a while. And it takes work each and every day to walk through what is the story that you're telling yourself each and every day. Please subscribe to the channel. Like, I'm trying to build more awareness about narcissism, just educate people on healing, growth, and change as I go through my journey as a narcissist, and as I go through my therapy, and as I try to work on different things. I try to share different tips, advice, thoughts on here. Also, little quick stuff on other social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, definitely on TikTok. That's the fun one. But I try to be able to share with people to be able to bring awareness about what narcissism actually is and how it's destroyed a lot of my life and how it will destroy yours if you get into these type of relationships. Many people have already had their relationships, their lives destroyed by this. And I talk to those people on a daily basis. I pretty much have a one-on-one at least every day where I'm talking with someone trying to help them get out of a narcissistic abusive relationship or try to deal with picking up the pieces, finding closure, finding their self-worth, working on becoming the best person they can regardless of everything that's happened in their past that's made them feel like shit. If you like what you see here, please subscribe. If you're listening on podcasts or Spotify, like, give me some ratings. Just help give us feedback so we can get this message out there and be able to explain more to other people. If you're interested in talking to me more, talk on like a one-on-one, go to the website, rawmotivations.com. Click on the one-on-ones. Would love to be able to chat with you. Would love to interact with you more. Thanks so much.